One of the things I found, Spell, is that the tooling, particularly around building those voice models and things, it's all, a lot of them seem to be very browser based. I mean, predominantly it's mostly with Alexa and this, but you're spending ages typing and clicking stuff into boxes, and to try and take a lot of the actual code, the traditional Node, Python, C# business logic of your bot is actually a very small piece of the bot, isn't it? There's a lot more structured data, probably in something like JSON or YAML or some form of syntax, but it's not. You can't easily just check that into GitHub and check it out and run a build. You have to copy and paste a lot of it in. Do other people sort of find that? Or?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a big challenge, and I think I'm sure there are some solutions to that on the horizon, because it does slow people down as they're making updates and making their bots and their voice apps better.
That is true. Actually, a lot of the cognitive services aspects of it previously required, in the Microsoft world at least, required you to go into a browser to kind of do those things. I think we're getting past that now, at least on our platform. Almost every single one of them has code-based APIs where we can do a push. So that Q&A one that I was talking about, for example, you don't have to forward that over to a URL now. You can actually directly get to the API. So most of a build for a bot for us would be done in our kind of DevOps platform, which for us would be Visual Studio Online. So we would be building all of the build things that when we do a deploy to Git or whatever our source control is, that would be the way that we would construct the entire bot. And there'll be lots of different build processes that it's going through, but now they are all codable. I'm not having to log into a website necessarily to update my Lewis model or to update my Q&A database. I can do that all programmatically. So it's kind of, for the larger sort of scale systems where we need a more defined workflow, we are able, at least on the Microsoft aspect of it, I'm able to code that in a sort of DevOps pattern so we can release with confidence. But that's not really nice. But then there are edge cases to that where a new preview API comes, a new preview service comes out that we want to use that doesn't have an API yet. Which always really irritates me when they release a web front end to something but don't actually have a code API that I could ultimately push things through. But yeah, I think that's as these things become more real and more sort of serious, then you have to have a DevOps kind of release platform for it.
Yeah, Sid, you're nodding. I mean, I guess you're a bit lucky because you guys are building this platform, this back end, whatever we're going to call it, engine, framework. And how do you guys manage things like deployments and stuff?
I mean, so we have various things ourselves. We've got our own API that some of our customers are hooking into to kind of extend it. We've got our system that has got. We're working with bigger and bigger customers who need a whole deployment system, deployment process themselves, right? Where it can't just be a case of X person logs in and updates and boom, done, everything's ready, because ultimately they have approval processes themselves. And so it's a completely different paradigm. But yeah, we also have kind of approval processes as well as APIs to kind of do stuff more powerfully on top of our platform.